Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. All right. That. All righty. I'll wait for a few more to come on in. Go ahead and hit that like button as you come in. Donate a like this Sunday morning to the Church of the Messiah, and go ahead and share the video. So yeah, it's 8 a.m. You guys are up a little early, little. I mean, I know everything's going crazy. We're and I want to give a shout out to the gaming community. There's a lot of good sales going on right now. I know Ubisoft let Assassin's Creed Odyssey be free this weekend on PlayStation. The joke was on me because I bought it on Friday. I bought the Gold Edition. It came with extra missions, so I'm just going to go back through the I'm going to beat that game again. I'll probably start playing it later today. So what's going on? So yeah, hit that like button, people. Share it. Share the love. There we go. And what we have been doing, me and my girl, we have been watching the MCU in theatrical release. So last night we're still in phase 2. Well, we just finished Guardians of the Galaxy Part 1, and so later today we're gonna do I guess it's time for Age of Ultron. We'll do Age of Ultron today, and then we're both off tomorrow. So we'll do Ant-Man tomorrow, and we'll be done with phase 2. So I've been trying modding. No. I finally figured out the how to do the Mass Effect thing. Some young man, he sounded like he was like 14 years old, did a 2-minute video showing us how to do it. And now what I need is somebody to do a video showing us how to mod Mass Effect Andromeda. Again, I would love somebody to make a video showing us how to mod Mass Effect Andromeda, because I mean, saving it wasn't hard. I mean, it was like 7 steps, but on PC with Mass Effect, the Mass Effect series, so on the Xbox and I guess on the PlayStation 3, you finish Mass Effect 1, your save is automatically done. When you start Mass Effect 2, it will ask you to import the save. You just click yes or no. PC doesn't do that. Okay, PC, it's save. What you have to do, and let me show if I can remember the steps here. Okay, you have to go into the file. You have to go into your PC file, and then you go on the PC file. You have to go into find the x86 save. That's what it's called, the x86 save. You go into that file. The game is in that file save. You click on that, and then all the games that I have played are saved there, like all of them. And so I clicked on Mass Effect 1, and then this other screen popped up, and I saved it. That was it. And then I had to click on like Mass Effect 2 or Mass Effect configuration, and I had to put it there. And then it did it automatically. It was like 5 or 6 steps. I mean, it was ridiculous. So, but yeah, my modding days are horrible. I modded my flight sim game on accident. I had no idea that's what I was doing. So you got that naked Jill mod. Well, I mean, I don't know. That game to me was funny because those zombies were moving slow, and then the closer they got to you, the faster they went. That actually was pretty funny to me. And I need a timeline. Is Resident Evil 3 happening the same time as Resident Evil 2? So, you know, but I don't want a naked mod. But I mean, I'll talk about that game in a sense of I played the demo yesterday. I enjoyed the demo. If the game was longer, I may very well go out and buy it. But I've been told, and I haven't got any confirmation yet, that game is only like 5 hours long. So now it's probably longer than that. It'll probably take me 10 to 12 hours to play it. But if it's going to have puzzles and stuff like that in it, I'm going to wait for somebody to beat it. Then I may go ahead and play it again. I mean, I'll play it a few weeks after it comes out. They did sell me on it, but not at $59. I still preferred Resident Evil 2. But yeah, I mean that game I enjoyed it. I streamed the whole game, and it wasn't a bad game. So you know, I guess while we're talking, I was going to save that for the end of the show, but while we're talking about it, I'll just go ahead and I'll share this right now in case you didn't know. There we go. So that's from WCC Tech, and this was 2 days ago. Resident Evil 3 demo, performance very erratic on Xbox One X, near perfect 60 on PS4 Pro. So that's WCC Tech, okay? So I just wanted to show people this because, once again, the Pro is outperforming the Xbox One X. And, yeah, I'll be talking about some PS5 news. There was somebody in the who asked a couple of questions, I think a day or two ago. What's going on, Simon? And I'll go ahead and address those questions, but I want everybody to see this. So $47, that's still too much if the game is only 5 hours long. I mean, I'll wait for it to go on sale for like $29. You know, so I got some lemonade there. So yeah, that still is too much for a short game. I'll pay $29 for it because it's new and I want to support them. But Resident Evil 2, I think, is on sale right now for like $14 or something like that. So you're gonna give it a miss? Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was good. It's a good demo. I think it comes out April 20th or something like that. It was on the board. Like when you get off the subway, it says right there, it says Resident Evil 3 coming April. I thought that was pretty cool. So, but what's going on, Brett? So, what's going on, Ice Queen? The Trials of Mana demo was dire. Was that on PC? So, is that on PC? But this for everybody who's going to buy it. If you want the better version of this game is on the Pro. Once again, the X didn't give it to you. I mean, that's just kind of the best way I look at it. So, but let me do a little. I guess let me do a little research here. Let me find this gentleman's question here. Well, may I be able to find it? Let me go to my channel. Maybe it's in here. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. So, let me see here. Okay. Yep. Here it is. It looks like he calls himself Dude 3 Rotomy. Dude 3 Rodham. Y'all just gonna call him Dude 3. So, and we'll go ahead and address his question because his question, I think, is a legitimate question. I mean, he's not fanboying. He's not over here to cause a bunch of problems, a bunch of BS, you know. And I'll answer the question, which is if PS5, this is just for him, if PS5 RDNA 2 36 CUs are equal to 50 some odd GCN CUs of PS4 Pro, then what are SX or Series X, I believe he means, 52 CUs RDNA 2 equivalent to an Xbox One X GCN CU count? I'm not for sure what the CU count of Xbox X is, but then I'll simply let's see here. Then he asks another question. He rephrases his question. Let's see here. It says, allow me to rephrase my question. If PS5 36 CUs of RDNA2 are again equal to 50 CUs of GCN, then wouldn't SX have the advantage there as well due to the fact that they have 16 more CUs of RDNA2? I've seen both spec sheet and it appears SX about runs the table on both power and speed, with the lone exception being the SSD speed. So let's go right here to this article that I found. And let me go ahead and put it on the screen. First things first, people, hit the like button as you come in, if you don't mind. So Dawn's playing Destiny 2. Of course she is. So we'll put this on the screen here. Hopefully everybody can see it. And again, these are legit questions. These are not, these aren't BS questions and stuff like that. So these are the kind of questions that are welcome. So, these are questions that are welcome. So we'll just read this into the record here. Excuse me. Now, it says, now this is from PC Games, and this article was done 3 days ago by Jacob Ridley. This is not from a fanboy site. This is not from anything like that. So I'll just read this. It says, we're going to see two very different approaches from Sony and Microsoft with the first wave of consoles in the next generation, even if both are bringing plenty of custom silicone to the party. The high-end Xbox Series X will feature a 52 CU GPU on the RDNA 2 architecture at a steady 1.825 gigahertz. Okay, well, you got to remember, this is for that Dude 3. You got to remember 1.825 gigahertz, while Sony's opting for something a little less colossal, at 36 CU. So this is going to your question now. It says, but clock quite a bit higher up to 2.23 gigahertz. So it's not like every RDNA 2 GPU is happy above 2000 megs. So this is from Cerny. It says, we built a GPU with 36 CUs, Mark Cerny says, during a PS5 tech deep dive. Mind you, RDNA 2 CUs, this is what you were talking about, are large. Each has 62% more transistors than the CUs that we were using on a PS4. So if we compare transistor counts, 36 RDNA 2 CUs equates to roughly 58 PS4 CUs. It is a fairly sizable GPU. Then we went with the variable frequency strategy, which is to say we will continuously run the CPU and GPU in boost mode. So, all right. So remember when you have people saying that, well, not all developers and it's only 9.2. Well, hopefully this answers your question. So they're going to continuously run the CPU and GPU in boost mode. So they're going to always have it's always going to be running. So says running a GPU at 2 gigs was looking like an unreachable target with the old fixed frequency strategy. with this new paradigm, we're able to run away. We're able to run way over that. I'm sorry, it's Sunday morning. Forgive me. In fact, we have to cap the GPU frequency at 2.23 gigahertz to guarantee on-chip logic operates properly. 35 CUs at 2.3 gigahertz is 10.3 T-flops, and we expect the GPU to spend most of its time at or close to that frequency performance. So when you go down here, this is not all of it here, but when you go down here, everything is going to be faster here. So when you look here, if they're going to do a SMT, which we already know they both have SMT on Series X, and I'm trying really not to get into a pissing contest. The Series X, when with SMT engaged, it's going to downclock to 3.66. They're going to constantly be at 3.5, and they're going to have a faster clock. So this at 3.5 is going to outperform this at 3.6 because this has again, to go back to what he said, they're going to keep they're going to continuously run the CPU and GPU in boost mode. So again, they're always going to be faster. Okay. Also, for anybody out there that thinks that they're using RDNA2 Lite and things like that, these guys are at this point, they're just lying to you. And I don't say that with any great pounding my chest. They're just lying to you at this point. And you don't argue with people who believe their own lies. So again, clearly, now this is PC and games, so this has nothing to do with Push Square. This has nothing to do with White Zaddy. This is just a site that I use because I built my PC, and so this is what I use because they gave me really good information on what to look for and boosting and things like that. So, and I'll just give you another example of something that I have. And while we have this up, let's go to Ryzen. Okay, we're going to type in my Ryzen. What I have installed right now is a 2600X. And I'll just go clock speed. Okay, so the clock speed on my Ryzen 2600X, which is a second generation CPU from AMD, the 2600 line, the 2600X, 2700, 2700X takes the place of the 1400, 1500, 1600. You guys probably know that. All right. But my PC runs at a continuous 3.6. How about the CPU? But if it has to do a little bit more, okay, it has a max turbo frequency of 4.2. So if the game starts to demand more, my CPU will start to boost at an up clock, okay, or whatever you want to call it, okay? Forgot what they call this, but the max turbo frequency, and this doesn't do it all the time, okay? So my base speed again is this, my max speed is that, and now I'm not trying to get too technical here, but what they're able to do, and more stuff will come out. Let me make that clear. More stuff will come out about the PS5. But what they're able to do with the PS5 to make up for the CU count is they're just running everything a lot faster. They're already at each core is 62% faster. So there's not really a whole lot more to go on but that. They don't. In order for them to get what they wanted, which was the performance, they actually clearly downclocked it. So, they down. What's going on, Sam Ash? So, as far as the clocks we go, yeah. And again, Fatal, we got to get some. We have to wait for some real world testing. We have to wait for real world testing. I do like the fact that people are asking legit questions. They're not fanboying. They're not acting, going full retard. and saying things that are not true. That was a legitimate question. Yeah, the Series X has 52 CUs of Navi RDNA, and they're like, well, if you have 52 CUs and of RDNA2 and PlayStation only has 36, then that's a huge difference. And the truth is no, because the PS5 is going to be running a lot faster, so they will get more performance out of them. That's it. I'm not here to. That is what Mark Cerny was saying. So, well, yeah, it's not even about the YouTubers at this point. I'm just defaulting to what the developers are saying. And also, let me see here. I need to put that window back up here. It was my fault because this broke yesterday as well. Let's see here. More. Let's see here, because I saw this and I meant to save it. Let's see here. Well, no, that's not it. Okay, yeah. Now remember what I said. My personal belief is that, remember I specifically said, I said this on JTech show, I said this on my podcast, I've said this on BitCloud's podcast, is that is this. And I specifically said that more, it says it, much more PS5 news coming in the months ahead. So, I don't know what else to say at this point. I personally believe, my opinion is that you won't get more information on this till after The Last of Us Part 2. Okay, and I agree 100% with Jez with grind my gears. There's no reason for you to push the PS5 and start marketing it. That's why people are like, oh, well, the marketing is off and the unveil was terrible. And it's like, there was no unveil and there's been no marketing push on PlayStation 5. There's been none. Okay, there's been more. PlayStation has marketed MLB The Show and Neo, and now this Resident Evil 3 demo much more than they have the PS5. All they did with PS5 was have a friggin' developer talk on what their clock speeds are and things like that. So Sony has said months ago, and I don't know if y'all remember, it got pulled down, that they were going to have the fastest console in the world, and they pulled that down. So it is what it is. So couldn't the PS5 GPU also move over the workload onto CPU temporarily? I don't know. I do not know. I mean, it's a good question. That's a good question. I mean, I have questions too about it. So, but I'll just wait for them to come out and disclose more information, because I'd much rather talk about the MLB The Show and Neo and all that kind of stuff. You don't hear these guys talking about Bleeding Edge, which comes out next week or comes out this week now. You don't hear them talking about Grounded. You don't hear them talking about Battletoads. You just don't. They're talking about specs. And they've been talking about specs since 2015. So understand, children have been conceived and they're walking and talking now. But they've learned how to ride a tricycle. These guys are still talking specs. So so, but I certainly hope that help answers that guy's question as far as how what Sony plans on doing. Now, again, this is all on paper. We have to wait for some real world benchmarks, okay? And until we get those real world benchmarks, there's really no reason to keep talking about it. They've said it's going to do 4K native gaming. They said it's going to support 8K televisions. I don't know how. We got to, again, wait for some more information. They said it was based on not the Zen processor. We got confirmation on that. They said it was going to be based on AMD's latest technology. We got confirmation. It's RDNA 2. They talked about hardware ray tracing. That's confirmed. So it's just, you know, I don't mind talking about PS5 and this and what's been confirmed on it. Okay, that's why I put down the name of this podcast is what it is, confirmed PS5 news. I'm not going to get into a speculating piss match. Okay, so what I like to know is, why does a console need 8 cores and 16 threads? Yeah, I mean, good question. And it may not be for anything we see for the next 2 years. Maybe in the 4th year, we start getting games for that. You know, so we have to wait and see. We'll definitely have to wait and see. So there is no one good answer. So does the Xbox understand a innovation? No, they based on what some of them are saying, the answer to that is no. And at this point, it's gotten to a point now where they are just lying to people. I mean, they lied about the Xbox X. These are the same guys that said the Xbox X was going to give it to you, and you know, all the multi-plat games are going to look and run better on Xbox X. We know that's not true. They said Xbox X was the only one that can hold 4K textures. We know that's not true. I mean, we can just keep going on and on and on, or we can just wait till you can go to the store and buy one. I'm talking about a PS5. You can wait till that comes out and go buy one, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to buy the Series X. I'm not knocking it, but I'm not going to buy it. You know, so why are you not going to buy it? That's what people have said. Why am I not going to buy it? Because I'm going to get a new GPU. Okay, I still plan on getting a new GPU. I know shit is crazy out there. I mean, I'm not here to say it's not. I don't even know if Best Buy is open at this point. So, and I'm not going to get it from Amazon, because if I get it from Amazon, I can't even get it to the store to get the people to test it. So I'll get it from Best Buy. When I buy it at Best Buy, I physically can take it up there to them and say, to the Geek Squad, and say, I need this tested, and they'll test it for free. They'll test it for free. So I thought you already had an Xbox, Don. So, oh, what's up, Cyberdrag? I didn't see that. So you think Microsoft was hoping Sony would blow their load last week, but Sony did? Well, I mean, again, I don't even look at it like that. Look what we got. We got confirmation of you look what you got. You got confirmation, because again, these guys literally, when AMD came out a few weeks ago at their financial disclosure meeting, even though AMD came out there and said that both consoles would, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, both consoles would use RDNA 2, they said that was a lie. They were literally online saying that was a lie. All right. Now, I mean, so if they're going to call a officer, a chief executive officer, not the CEO, but a chief officer at AMD at a financial disclosure meeting, if they're going to call him a liar, then there's nothing else to talk to them about. Okay? There isn't. There's nothing else to talk to them about. And it's just time to move on. Best Buy is open, but stock is low. Well, again, I might. I don't even know if I'm going to go up there and get it today, then, because I would have to walk up there, and it's going to be like 50 degrees. So I don't know. I might get it today. I am still waiting on for where you guys. Shout out to the community, everybody in the chat that donated. Once we got past the what we needed to get past. I'm still waiting on that to go through for my AdSense. Okay, so that didn't go through. We usually get that on the 21st. The 21st was Saturday. It may not go through till tomorrow. I have to wait and see. So what's going on, 901? So again, but when you're calling a chief executive officer at a financial disclosure meeting a liar, that's what they were doing with this AMD guy. There's nothing really. I'm not going to say anything else about it. I mean, I will just I'll point people to articles that developers have said things about the PS5 and or the Series X. But yeah, there's nothing else to talk about. But so again, that's from Sony, is that there's much more PS5 news coming in the months ahead. So 50 degrees ain't nothing. Well, I don't mind walking up there. I just don't know if I feel like doing it, you know. Yeah, they close. Well, I'm off tomorrow, so I may. It's supposed to be warmer tomorrow, so I may just wait and go up there tomorrow. So let's see here. You got people running around. Another misconception is, well, they don't, Mark Cerny didn't mention variable rate shading. Well, Mark Cerny can't mention variable rate shading because that is proprietarily owned by Microsoft. Okay, Sony has their own version of that, but we'll have to wait and see exactly how they deploy it. So it just, it's crazy at this point that there are people who just won't, I understand the lies. There's just so many lies at this point. It's unfortunate. So, but when people call a financial officer a liar, they'll lie about anything at that point. They will lie about anything at that point. So let's look at the my question. My one question about Series X is this here. Let me put it on the screen. And I'm not buying a Series X. I'm just interested in it as tech. Where it says, let me go ahead and get my mouse to work correctly. Okay. This right here. This right here. So this over here, this slower bandwidth, is this what they're going to use? The slower gigabytes over here. 6 gigs is 6 gigs for the Xbox is reserved for at a slower bandwidth. So, and then this over here is higher. So this is why people think there could be a bottleneck with their memory band with their RAM. Okay, this is why NX Gamer and White Zaddy and other people have come out openly and have said there could be an issue here. And again, I'm not here to say that it won't be, that it will be. Okay, and that it will be. I'm just saying that's my personal question. Okay, that's my personal question. So, and it's not a diss. It'll just have to get more information. We won't get this information until the console is in somebody's hands being tested with getting real benchmarks. It's just like up here, right there. So see, if any developer, say Fatal Sharad develops a game and he does multi-threading, he's going to have to run that game according to this at a lower clock speed. Okay? According to this is a lower clock speed. So, and then look at how low this clock speed is here. So even though they're calculating 52 CUs at 1.825 gigahertz, so even though the 52 number is higher, and it is higher than the 36 is calculating at what, 2.3 or 2.23. So that's a lot faster. That's almost 60% faster in calculation speed, give or take. So again, we'll have to wait for some real world benchmarks. But that's my question: will Sony at 36, because they're clocking higher? Will the 52 and 36 number be that big a deal because of the higher clock speed? Again, I don't know. I'm literally saying I don't know, and I'll just wait to get some real world information. I'm happy to wait to get real world information. So, but yeah, let me go ahead, and I'm about to move on here. What's up, the Gaminator? How you doing? What is going on? Wouldn't have been a lie if they would backtrack on where variable rate shading works, which is equal to hardware accelerated ray tracing, which was only the RDNA2, which was only would point it to all. Yeah, I mean, again, yeah, I get that. It's I understand what you're saying. So, am I having an open chat? Probably not. Let's see here. So you find the idea of Sony's approach to audio next gen, you think it could really complement it? Yeah, we're going to talk about the Tempest engine again. Well, I'm here. This is confirmed news, so I don't have to speculate. You know, so oh, you gave your Xbox away to your sister's husband. So okay, I didn't know that. Cool, 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 cool. The faster memory in the Series X boost mode built in. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not. That's why I'm waiting on real world testing. I'm not buying the Series X. Somebody had asked a question, I think it's Dude 3. He had asked about the 52 CUs and the 36 CUs. And I'm thinking, I don't know if it's gonna be that much of a difference because, and I'm not the only one who said this, NX Gamer said this as well. If they're at 52 at a lower clock and you're at 36 at a faster clock, is it going to be that much of a difference in real world performance? Well, guess what? We got to wait for some real world test. It's easy on paper to say yes or to say no. This is. So, so XSX pretty much always struggling. Again, we have to wait for some real world tests. I'm not going to call it a struggle. So, the teraflops in PS5 is variable max at 10.3, including the CPU. Yeah, and again, we just had an article up here that said that for the most part, it's always going to be at 10.3. So it's always going to be at the higher end, according to Mark Cerny. So again, we'll have to just wait and see. So because you have Mark Cerny, the engineer, saying that, but then you got people, you have these armchair developers saying that that's not true. So again, I'm defaulting to the developer. Okay, it's just like when Insomniac Games said Spider-Man on PS4 Pro runs 4K through temporal aliasing. Now that's the developer, but then Zaddy turned around and said, no, it's not running at that. It's running at some other thing. Who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe the developer? Are you going to believe White Zaddy? I mean, that's the whole, my whole thing. I always believe I'll default to the developer until the developer comes out and says, yeah, we couldn't get it at launch to run that way. So so let's see. So Eric says he believes more small developers will go with PS5 because they can develop easier and faster. Have to wait and see. There's a very good chance that could happen. We won't know that till 2026. So y'all think PlayStation 5 has VRS? Is that variable rate shading? You don't know. Y'all, you don't. Oh, I don't know if they can call it that because variable rate shading is owned by Microsoft. Let's see if we can pull that up. So if it's proprietarily owned by Microsoft, then they can't put it in their machine. They have to put something else in there. So let's see here. Let's see here. I'm just trying to see who owns it. I'm trying to find that. I thought I saw it yesterday. They may not have it. I mean, they may have something different. But every time I pull up variable rate shading, it doesn't say anything about PlayStation 5. So, I found something here. Here's something that's funny. This is from December. I'll just put this up on the screen. You all can get a laugh out of this because we know this isn't true. And again, this is just an opinion article. PlayStation 5 and I have hardware-based ray tracing and variable rate shading. Well, we know it has hardware-based ray tracing. So, all right. So Spartan God says it's owned by Microsoft. Okay, then PlayStation cannot have variable. They can have something like variable rate shading, but they can't call it that. You see what I'm saying? So let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Now they have variable clock rates. So let's see here. Yeah. So No, there's nothing here about it for PS5. So, but what variable rate shading is, and I asked Sick Humor this yesterday. Uh, and the way he explained variable rate shading very simply is that if you look to the left on a screen, just imagine looking at your TV screen, or if you're playing on a monitor and you have variable rate shading on, and let's say you turn to the left, then everything on the left side that you're looking at is going to get a boost in quality because you're not looking to the right. Okay. Now, now you come back to the center and then you're just going to get the same plane. The variable rate shading will concentrate on this looking forward. Then if you turn to the right, it will concentrate on looking towards the right. So that's it. In essence, it will just enhance your field of view that you're concentrating on. So no way is it going to be max teraflop nor the CPU with those high clocks based on game design. Again, 901, that's your see at this point, you are contradicting the architect leader of that console. So again, I specifically just said what? Well, I'll wait for some real world tests. But according to Mark Cerny, and again, we just saw what he said. I don't think I have that screen anymore. No, I don't have that screen anymore because we just talked about it. According to him, that they will be able to run it up that high most of the time, but we have to wait and see. Okay. So isn't variable rate shading universal language on both RDNA 2, OpenGL? Yeah, and again, Sony may deploy a different version of it. We'll just, again, they didn't say everything, and that's where we're stuck at. They lost the whole thing on RDNA 1 and RDNA 1.5 and the RDNA 2. They lost on the hardware ray tracing for sound and visuals. Now we're stuck on VRS. I mean, that's literally where we're at right now. And all this has to do with what? This all has to do with multi-plat games. That's it. That they're still talking about multi-plat games, where I just pulled, and I can pull this up again for the people who just are now coming in. We can look at a multi-plat game. Okay. Let's see here. I'll just put this back on the screen. This is a multi-plat game, and we all know the PS4 Pro is 4 T-flops and the Xbox X is 6 T-flops. Then why is this multi-plat game that's on the screen now, why is it performing better than its counterpart that's more powerful? You see what I'm saying? And we don't have to leave it there. We can go to a game that is specifically made for that platform. Let's see here, but it's also on PC. Let's see. And we'll go. Let's see here. We'll just go to this right here, and this is from Jez Gordon. Okay, this is the guy who does the Xbox 2 podcast with Randall Thor, and even they are commenting on this, and this is an Xbox game. Okay, this is an Xbox game. It's got bugs and you're having issues with it. So again, I mean, I'm pointing this out because just because something's more powerful doesn't mean it's going to perform well. Again, I'm pointing this out because there's nothing to damage control here. They're having issues with that console bottlenecking. I'm talking about the Xbox X. And when you look at the specs, you're looking at the fact that it's because it has slower clocks, that the games are going to possibly have an issue. So they're not going to render as fast. They won't be performing as well based on the paper spec. With that said, let's wait for some real world testing. So 33.5 gigahertz is high. Well, again, we're going to find out. 3.5 gig. I mean, my 2600X is 3.6, but it has a variable rate clock at 4.2. I showed that on the screen. So you know, it is what it is. So let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see. OpenGL, however, can handle it. Vulkan has no support. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see if they even deploy that. I mean, I have no idea. So, third-party devs, if they lower the resolution on X, the performance will be better than the Pro. Oh, well, guess what? It's not. And that's nobody's fault but the third-party developers. So, and again, my point is that it's more powerful. It should not be having these issues. And this isn't the only one that did that. We can go back to Resident Evil 2. We can go to Modern Warfare. We can go to the fact of the matter is that thing is, you know, they're not running all multi-plat games better. They're just not. They ran a lot with dynamic resolution to help with the frame rate. That's the truth. Now, am I excited that they were able to get a first-party game, Gears of War, that was running at 60 frames a second, that they allegedly have been able to get that to run at close to 100 or right at 100? Yes. Yes. Because that's been my question the whole time, is could they get games locked at different frame rates up? You know, and, you know, were they going to be able to get games with variable resolutions? So the whole thing with Xbox is that the multi-plat games that are dynamic 4K, they should be able to get them to run at, if the third-party developer chooses to go ahead and let them jailbreak it up open. So say, I don't know, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is dynamic 4K and I think 60 frames a second. So will EA go back in and patch it? I guess you want to look at it like that, so that it runs 4K native. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not here to say that they won't. I was, you know, Ori 2 runs like crap on 1X and made the system reboot. Okay, so here's a game, Ori 2 901, that's not on the PlayStation. It's on PC and it's on Xbox X, and it's still running like crap. So again, this is an issue. This is a big issue, I think. And going forward, will it be an issue going forward? I don't know. That's what I said. Real world testing. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Rage 2, Call of Duty 2 years, Pro still perform better. Yeah, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider has 4K textures on the Pro. And remember, they lied. Talking about the Xbox community was lying their ass off, saying that the Pro couldn't do 4K textures, and that was a lie. I mean, again, they have resorted and I get it. Look, let me make this clear. I get some of the banter going back and forth. Fine, I'm not here to be facetious and stuff like that. But when you flat out resort to just lying, which is what they're doing at this point. When you resort to lying, it's the cat's out. The balloon goes up at that point. The balloon goes up. You're literally just, you know, digging your own grave at that point. So, but let's talk about some more confirmed news here. Let's talk about the backwards compatibility for the people who are interested in it. If you're going to get a PS5 and you were wondering if you were going to have backwards compatibility, Sony has clarified that PS5 will support overwhelmingly majority of PS4 games. So that's been confirmed by Sony. So now which games are now? So pretty much all of them on PS4. It's like 3,000 or 4,000 games. Where the confusion came in, again, and where people started lying, is they thought it was only 100 games. But what will happen is the top 100 games, I guess, that are played, I don't know how they determine that, but the top 100 games played analytically, there's my favorite word there, and this is a statement, says we believe that overwhelmingly majority of the 4,000 plus PS4 titles will be playable on PS5. So maybe that means 2001. That's the, but it says the overwhelming majority. So now let me make this clear. The top 100 games are going to get some type of boost. Okay, they're going to get some type of boost. So now, what does that mean? I don't know. I don't know. Does that mean that now, does that mean that that Horizon Zero Dawn is checkerboard at 4K and 30 frames a second? Does that mean that the checkerboarding will go away and it'll be a 4K native game? Does that mean that's in resolution mode? If they switched it to if you switch on performance mode, does it go to 60 frames a second? I don't know. I mean, again, real world testing. This is where, and I understand what happened now, because Xbox came out and showed somebody named Austin316, whatever his name is. He was actually physically playing games. You saw the console in motion, which is what they needed to show. They have to show gameplay. Sony was pretty much doing a talk from GDC. That's why you've heard nothing but a lot of good talk from who? Developers. The media, like the mainstream media, has been bitching about it. And guess what? I agree 100%. You got to know your audience. And they either should have clarified this is going to be a much more developer-based talk. There'll be some information in here that the mainstream audience may want to hear, but this is going to be more developer talk. We'll have more information, mainstream information down the line. But right now we just want to get this. This was already pre-recorded for at GDC or for the GDC or something like that. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what they do. So if devs target performance already on the one S, it would be better potential. Again, their problem is that it's third party. They're dependent on third party. That's my whole point. So they're dependent on third party. So yeah, I did do that. So I definitely did that. So but there's this whole thing. If devs again, and we know that there are all these new developers that they got them to support Game Pass. Matt Booty said that. Okay, so I mean, again, I'm just putting it out there. That's the truth. So what do we have confirmed? This is what we got confirmed at the conference. You got RDNA 2 confirmed. You got hardware ray tracing confirmed. You got the backwards compatibility confirmed. You got close to, right at 4,000 games or more or less, give or take, more. And the top 100 games will get a patch. Again, so not all the games are going to get a patch. All right. So if you played Ni no Kuni Part 2 and you loved it, I don't know what Ni no Kuni 2 is being played in, but it ain't gonna get a patch, so that's all I can really say. But says Sony has already said its new console will have backwards compatibility, though it hasn't gone into detail on how that will work. As part of the presentation today, Sony explained that one way to enable backwards compatibility will be to put the previous console's chipset into the system, as was done with some PS3 models. So the downside is that it is extremely expensive, he said. It's better instead to incorporate any differences in previous console logic into new console chips to new custom chips. Even as the technology evolves, the logic and feature set that the PS4 and the PS4 Pro titles is still available in backwards compatibility mode. Sony said once it's in, it's in. So it is what it is. So since over the last few months, Sony has released spec details about the PS5, including that it supports 8K resolutions, 3D audio, 4K gaming at 120 hertz, contains ultra-fast SSD, will use an 8-core CPU, custom GPU-based, and AMD Navi hardware. Today it announces full specs for the system. We've seen the full specs. We've seen them. So it is what it is. Guys, it is what it is. So if you want to do backwards compatibility, and I'm going to be consistent, I do not care about backwards compatibility. To me, that is the garlic mashed potatoes with the, that's garlic mashed potato. There's no meat there. So So you will go PC Master Race X Gen because Sony put in Horizon Zero Dawn onto PC. Plus, well, I mean, again, it's also apparently not going to have no field of views or point of views on the PC. Trash. It's straight trash. So, so you would never sell to Microsoft. They were putting a well, I wouldn't either, but that's what these studios are doing. So, but finally, to wrap this up here. Excuse me. Let me share my screen. We're going to talk about the Tempest engine. It says, now this is from Push Square. Remember, either you're a circle or you're a push square. This is how will PlayStation 5 games sound better, and will I need new headphones or speakers? So basically what is says here, says the 3D, it says you may already have read about some of the technical capabilities of Sony's next-gen console. And one term that has been thrown around is 3D audio. Mark Cerny, who is leading development on PS5, was disappointed at the lack of audio innovation with current-gen machines and aims to fix that by including the technical grunt to support 3D audio on a system level. But what does 3D audio mean? In this brief guide, we'll go through what we know about 3D audio and what it means for PS5. So we've already done this. I've already done a video on what 3D audio does. But in theory, you hear the world, you interpret your world in 3 dimensions from sound. You get sound in to your ear. Your brain maps a picture, a 3D picture on where that sound is coming from, so you can react to it or not react to it. So that's what it says. If you're in a room with a telephone in the far right-hand corner and it starts ringing, 3D audio means the ring will sound like it's coming from the far right-hand corner from the player's perspective. So it is what it is. Like if you play Mass Effect 2, and then go into the club Afterlife. When you first step into Afterlife, the music is muffled. It's muffled because you're in the foyer. As you move up closer to the opening of the bar, the music starts getting clearer and clearer and clearer and louder. So, so that works fine because everything's right in front of you. But if you go to the right-hand side of the club, the music should be coming through both headsets, but it should be, if you're on the right-hand side of the club, that means stage left, it should sound like, it should have more sound coming into the right side of the ear. That's 3D audio. It doesn't do that. And, the headphones don't do that. We don't have that technology. So, okay. How will 3D audio work in the PS5 game? It's got a question mark because we don't know because we haven't heard an audio demo yet. So it says here the technology will allow you to even more immerse in a game's world than before because noises and effects will be far more realistic in terms of where they come from. Take Skyrim as an example. If you were to enter a pub, you hear chatter amongst its patrons on one side, a fire crackling away on the other, and further inside a bard playing folk music. The difference with 3D audio is that you feel as if you're there because all those effects will sound like they're coming from the appropriate places in a 3D space. Again, that's what I just told you. Okay, that's what a 3D is. So, so it will be much more immersive. It will able to improve games in less obvious ways. So think about terms of competitive shooters. If someone is in the room or floor above you, you'll be able to hear their footsteps as they cross the room above your head. That's actually pretty neat. So another example could be that you need to listen out for audio cues in a horror game that understand where those threats are coming from, like Resident Evil in 3D. So now their Tempest engine, since its Tempest engine is effectively the hardware chip inside the PS5, which makes all this fancy 3D audio technology possible. As explained by Digital Foundry, White Zaddy, okay? The Tempest engine is effectively a re-engineered AMD GPU compute unit stripped of its caches and relying solely on DMA transfers. Fascinatingly, to accurately create 3D audio, Sony needs the data I'm sorry. Sony needs to data call. That's wrong. Sony needs to data. Sony needs to data call the head related transfer function, which is unique to every person based on their ear and head shape. This is true. There'll be at least 5 profiles available at launch based on over 100 people. You'll be able to configure this based on your personal optimum settings. So the game, this is where now I don't know how Microsoft is going to do it. And again, I'm not getting the Series X, so you guys will have to look that up. But this is extremely unique to each user. All right. Says you'll be able to configure this based on your personal optimum settings. But the manufacturer wants to find a way, manufacturer Sony, to perfectly personalize this data for every user. And this may involve you eventually taking and uploading photos of your ears. That's why Mark Cerny was saying, lend me your ears. So says, will I need new headphones or speakers to take advantage of 3D audio on PS5? And that's a question I got because I am PO. P-O, can't afford to own the R. So it says, so Sony, all right, it says it right here. So it says, so you'll be able to take advantage of the feature with hardware you already own. However, it intends to eventually optimize this for television speakers, sound bars, and surround sound systems. In short, it'll work with whatever audio tech you already own. Although, don't rule out the possibility of specifically hardware launching in the future to maximize the effect. Now, this is good for me. This is good for me, okay? Let me make that clear because now in order for me to get this, I don't have to get rid of my Steel Series, which I love. And I got these on sale for $40 at Best Buy. Normally, they were $89.99. I got them for $39.99. So I got them. It was a steal. So I love it. So, but what do you guys think about this? Let's see here. So you hope Sony reboots Marble Madness. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. What's up, Trey BK? So, what are y'all up here talking about? So, no. Let's see here. But yeah, let's see here. Somebody has I think there'll be a PS5 Pro. I don't think so. So 3D PlayStation 3 audio was awesome. Yeah, 3D PlayStation 3 is such a better system than PS4 in every way. Okay, fair enough. Well, I know it has better audio sound because Mark Cerny has said that. Dollar Tree Gaming not going to get you to buy a Series X. Oh man, Game Pass wouldn't exist if they were buying game. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't disagree with that. So Microsoft doing what they do best to provide services to gamers within their ecosystem. So Game Pass Day One is a seller to their gamers. Well, again, I'm not going to deny that. I guess. I mean, they're not buying their games. I know that they're not playing them. They're talking about specs. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's go on Twitter and see if they're still talking specs. So, oh no! Now somebody named Josh has put up something from Zaddy. Oh no! According to Zaddy, Doom Eternal actually runs better on PS4 Pro than the Xbox One X. With that in mind, I think the PS5 and its 10.28 or 10.3 teraflops Navi would be just fine. And he says just saying. So again, I guess Zaddy has got some type of video of Doom Eternal, and it's running better. According to him, I haven't looked at it. Let me make that clear. I haven't looked at it, but that's it. I mean, the balloon has gone up. You know, and I've said this multiple times. So, you know, the balloon has gone up. So, you know, so, you know, yeah, somebody saying that it's, yeah. So we'll have to wait and see. So we'll have to wait and see. So, so Porter Rock is saying the 20 Ti has lower clock speeds than the 2080 Super. Hold on. 2080 Ti has lower clock speeds than the 2080 Super. 20 Ti outperforms the Super. I said the. Let's see here. But it has more cores. So the 2080 Ti has more cores than the Super. So it's going to outperform it. So, let's see here. Let me just type that in. The 2080 Ti has more CUDA cores, so of course it's going to outperform the Supra. More CUDA cores. There we go. Somebody put Horizon Zero Dawn is going to be mind blowing. So, yeah, it probably will be. So, you really hope Cerny reboots Marvel Man. Yeah, I remember playing that, and boy, that was a long time ago. So, yeah, I remember that. That was a fun game. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I had. I just wanted to go over what was confirmed and what's not being confirmed. So, I mean, again, my questions, I I'll have to wait and see. But I mean, I'm not getting the Series X, so I'm more. My questions about the PlayStation 5 is, let's see here. My questions on the PlayStation 5 is, they answered. Will they be able to? They're going to patch some games from the PS4, but I don't know what those patches are going to consist of, or boost them, or whatever you want to call it. So, will they be able to do that? I don't know. We have to wait. I'm willing to wait and see, but I'd much rather talk about Doom Eternal and The Last of Us Part 2, MLB The Show. I'd rather talk about that. And GameStop closing down today. GameStop is not open, so they can all go home and wash their asses. Let me put that up on the screen. We'll end with something funny here we can all laugh at. So, so just so you know, let's see here. Let me put this on the screen. Get a good laugh out. Because I went in there the other day, it smelled like wet ass up in there. So, since GameStop shuts down regular operations amid coronavirus, curbside pickup will still be available at certain storefronts. So, again, this sucks for me, especially if my GameStop doesn't have curbside pickup. And the next game I have reserved is Final Fantasy VII. So, I mean, that sucks. I mean, if I call them up and they're like, well, yeah, you're not going to be able to get it for a while, I'll be pissed. So, oh, man. But I'm glad that they get to go home because they can wash their red asses because it smelled like, I said, hot ass up in there the other day when I went. So, all right, guys. Well, with that said, I am going to bounce on out of here unless there's any questions at all. There we go. Oh, Zaddy just put something on Twitter. Says, I'm surprised by the lack of reading comprehension. Faster SSD doesn't mean faster system overall. It's not. but that's how some folks choose to read it. Yeah, I agree. I agree. So somebody put down they use Astro 50s on Xbox with Dolby Atmos. Sony looks cute and all swinging their non-existent. Oh man. So let's see here. So yeah. And there's that. And all right, but guys, yeah, if there's not any more questions, I'm gonna get on out of here. Final Fantasy VII Remake physical copies are delayed. Really? Oh, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. So, well, again, I can't go. I mean, the stores are going to be closed, and I would go get it at. So that's fine. I mean, I don't know how this is going to work. I mean, that's again, I got Assassin's Creed again, so that will tide me over. But and I've got if anybody again wants to play the Division Part 2 with a noob, that's me. I'm like level 5, I think. So if anybody wants to get together and play that. If you see me playing online today, I'm talking about playing online with the PS5, hit me up. Look for me on the PS5 about 4 p.m., give or take, Eastern time for that, 4 p.m. So, we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. But, yeah. But that's anybody who wants to play the Division Part 2 because I bought that so that everybody get together and play. Shout out to Trey 8K. He was talking about, buy a game so that everybody can kind of jump in and join. So Trey 8K, if you want to get together and play 4 p.m. Eastern time, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock Eastern time, let me know. Just hit me up on Twitter. So that's anybody with the PS4. I don't play that on PC. I will play that with you guys on PS4. So let's see here. Okay, well, Gaminator, it says it could be. I guess they don't know. Let me read this. Let me read that article. Let me bring that article up. Final Fantasy VII Remake isn't delayed, but your disc copy could be. Let's see here. Oh, okay. This says it's going to release, I guess, but it's not going to release on. Okay, I see what you're saying. A bit ago, Amazon. All right. If you have Amazon, yeah. I mean, again, for me, I'm supposed to go pick mine up, and now I got nobody to call because I did not call GameStop yesterday. So, since other big games throughout 2020 could suffer the same kind of shipment delays if the coronavirus is incurred, we're just going to call that Rona. Luckily, scientists and researchers are currently developing a vaccine. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, hopefully they get that thing cured and get everybody up out of the house. That's hilarious. So, but all right then, guys, I'm gonna get on out of here. So, Hellblade 2 is going to come to PlayStation in 2035. Okay, well, that's fine. So I enjoyed it. Yeah, no problem, Simon. Glad. I mean, it was early. Glad everybody was up, and hopefully everybody's feeling good. And guys, remember, just enjoy your games, and you all take it easy and stay blessed. And I am going to get on out of here. Peace out.